Now, that takes us to Benue State. You know, ranches have come to stay in Benue State, and these are latest comments by Governor Samuel Ortom. The governor advised anybody calling for the repeal of the state's open grazing prohibition and ranches establishment law to channel their energy elsewhere. He added that because of the enactment of the law, he had become a target for elimination, adding he had escaped 7 assassination attempts. Chris, these are times that try men's souls, as we always say.
Yes, it is. But my challenge, a big challenge here, is the insistent, continuous statement credited to Governor Ortom of Benue State. Several times he has always raised this issue of being attacked for one reason or the other. And I would have wanted him to name names. That is very important. Because as a governor, he has certain information at his disposal that some of us don't have. But there's no going... I watched him on a national TV station a few days ago, and he mentioned the name of the former emir of Kano. That the way the former Sanusi, the way he has been, yes, that the deposed emir, how he has been attacking him, some of the things he has been saying, and the rest of them, and he believed that it has to do with the policies of his state the government, which has to do with the issue of ranching, the law that was enacted by the House of Assembly in the state, which to a large extent he believes must have stopped the incessant attack on his people and this wanton killing of his people in Benue. So he sees no reason why he should be attacked for that. But if there have been such attempt at his life, did he report to the security agencies? If he reported to the security agencies, what have the security agencies done to that effect? If there have been investigation, if there are people that are found wanting, at that level, such information should be made available to Nigerians. Because it's not just a governor. Just 2 days ago, or yesterday, citizens, probably you are not aware, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Ebun Adegboruwa, raised an alarm that there is an attempt to kill him, to assassinate him. I'm sure this is news to you. He made that allegation yesterday. He spoke to me yesterday. He sent out a press statement yesterday that has been all in all the newspaper. And he's calling on Nigeria that if anything happens to him, that he just wants them to be out. So what I'm saying is that he has come out. And probably, and I asked him, have you reported to security agencies? He said he has, and that is where it is. So for such allegations to happen, then the Benue State governor should, but we should also look at politics. This is time for politics. There is nothing that politicians cannot do. There is nothing politicians cannot say. Because I know that the party, even his own party in Benue, now is highly divided between him and the presidential candidate of the party. And the APC is growing, is waxing so strong in Benue State as we are talking. So whether it's a function of some of his statements being politically motivated or reality, it is for him to be able to channel this, as I said, to the relevant authorities and let there be an investigation. We have to talk about the Inspector General of Police. We have to talk about the DG of DSS, the NIA, and the other relevant security agencies so that they can look at what he has said. But if it was just that he's just crying out wolf after investigation, the governor cannot be prosecuted now because he has immunity. They just have barely 4 months to go.
Yeah.
And after he has left office, he can be arrested and prosecuted for raising such a wanton alarm.
Jide, when a man is bitter, he will not be interested in what you say, but what you're trying to hide. These are not the best of times, as I said earlier on, about what's happening in Benue State. The governor is surely hurt.
Yes, I think that we should not lose focus of the message. A lot of us are far away from Benue. Some of us don't go there at all. But some of us are tracking developments in that area. Let's even leave out the governor.
Okay.
Let's leave out the governor. Today in Benue, there are not less than 2 million IDPs. And anyone who is current will know that constantly there are attacks on communities. We've seen videos of people, when they were attacked, they were killed, and then you see the governor going to the area, and all that. I have been to Benue's IDP camps, for example, so I know the extent of the pains that people are going through. The governor is not the issue. He's coming out to say, oh, because I came up with the anti-open grazing law, that some people want to kill me and others, and all that. My own concern is the wanton attack on communities by herdsmen looking for grazing areas and all that. And it has reached the point that you cannot deny that these things are happening. Kwande, that is along the border with Cameroon, so many of the people are being chased away from their communities. You go to Logo and Guma. Logo and Guma are the two most fertile local governments in Nigeria. More than 70% of the people in these areas are either in Makurdi or somewhere else as IDPs. Wow. As IDPs. In their own, where you have a state with a population of about 7.5 million, and 2 million of the people are IDPs.
Displaced.
Displaced. Where you have up to 18 IDP camps, 10 of them official, you know that it's not a small problem. So the governor saying that, oh, they try to kill him, that's not, my own concern is not that they want to kill the governor. I'm concerned about the pains, the farmer-herder clashes that we've been talking about. I don't think there's any state where it is more pronounced than Benue. I don't think there's. Look at Chachangi, along the border with Taraba. Clashes, killings, people's houses burnt. Even after you've attacked them, you burn their houses, and then they had nowhere to go. You see people crying. So these are the things. Remember the case of those pastors that were killed.
Yeah.
It was the Nigerian. They not only killed them, they remained there. It was the Air Force that eventually chased them away from that place. But in an election year, people will say, no, the people who killed them are not herdsmen. They will say, oh, they are other people. Whether they are other people or not, our people deserve to live in peace in their communities. If they are farmers, they should be able to access their farms. And that is the responsibility of government.
If Benue is the food basket, bread basket of the country, it should be so. It should be allowed to
That is why the people, farmers, should be allowed to access their farms. People shouldn't walk into people's communities, chase them away from their farms, and turn them to destitute in their own country. No sane person committed to the truth will not know that this is a big problem in Benue.
Yeah.
It's not until some of us go there to do the documentaries before Nigerians know the extent of the pain.
Yeah.
Even using the search engine, Google, just type attacks in Benue, you'll be alarmed at the number of attacks that have been carried out. And the governor is saying more than 50 attacks have been carried out in his time as governor. Look at Agatu. How many times have we read about the killing of people in Agatu? Type it out, you'll see how many attacks. And Agatu is also a very fertile area. They are predominantly farmers. Do they deserve to be killed on their farms the way they get killed by a lot of these people who are not even Nigerians? The answer is no. So the responsibility of government is to ensure that these killings, these attacks on people, stop. The governor's local government is Guma. 70% of the people in Guma local government are either in Makurdi or somewhere else. Even Makurdi not. Makurdi not.
Displaced.
There are IDP camps in those. They attack people right into Makurdi North, just on the fringes of the state capital. This is reality. I can't stand it when I see Nigerians being wasted as if human lives amount to nothing in our country. It doesn't happen in other places. We want to protect our people a lot more. This is a problem. You go to Katsina, it's the same problem. People chased away from their communities. If today we want to do a special on places where elections will not take place in our country, you'll be amazed at the number of places where bandits have taken over, where criminal headsmen have taken over and chased away people who normally should be in those communities and be ready to exercise their franchise. This is the problem. So as we have elections still being held in IDP camps in Borno State, I can tell you that up to 2 million of people from Benue will have their elections in IDP camps. Mark my words, that's what we have.
And that's quite a task. Chris, let's interrogate the legislation itself. Open grazing is not... I wonder if sometimes we think about tomorrow. Are we members of the human society? You ask yourself, so who will be against such a legislation?
That is the way to go. And we set the time with a number. The issue of open grazing is a no-no. It's inflicting pains on other Nigerians, especially farmers. You remember what happened in Ondo State with the governor of Ondo State, where he vehemently was against this and even went as far as trying to put a law in place to be able to stop people from doing that. You cannot just because of the fact that you want to, you are looking for pastures for your cows, animals, and rest of it. You move into people's farm and destroy it. A senior citizen, someone like Olufalaye, almost lost his life. I hope you remember vividly.
Yeah,
in his farm.
Yes.
There were other people that have also been killed. He talked about in Benue. Even some of the southeast, in Enugu, and some instances, there were people that were killed. Ebonyi. So many people have been killed. You know that
And the governor even burst into tears.
Yes. Ebonyi, when you say Benue is food basket of Nigeria, Ebonyi is the food basket of the southeast. Because even right as a kid, I remember that we used to have people from Ebonyi coming to my village to till land for us for yam cultivation. They are that good. And that is why you have the Abakaliki rice, so popular Abakaliki rice, the rice farm. So Ebonyi is predominantly farmers. But you see these herders moving it and just destroying it. And at a point, we said, even the federal government was thinking with the issue of Ruga. It was also thinking of the issue of ranching for so many. The president himself said that he supports ranching because his own cows are ranching in...
They are not roaming.
They are not roaming from one point to another. They are ranched. And if you look at some of these cows that get ranched, and you see how hefty
and healthy
they has moved a lot. If you go to the Mambila and see the cows...
Their cows are like cows from Florida.
No, those ones in the US. They don't move around because by the time you move the cows from one point, the cow will be tired.
Yes, no.
It will be losing weight. At the end of it, or you won't get the best out of it. Which is why people like Governor Ortom was crying out and talking about his people being killed. There is no doubt about it that so many people have been killed in Benue State on this issue. And I totally agree with him. And you have to realize that since that law was passed, there has been a reduction in killing in Benue State. There has been tremendous reduction in the killing. So that should be sustained. So anybody that is against that should be able to find another means of taking care of their cows. And the most important thing is that you also realize that most of those cows are not owned by those young men, those headers, those guys that take them around. They are owned by most of the very, very rich people who have them and just pass it on to
Southerners.
Some of them are Southerners. There is Amausa in Okigwe in Imo State. In my state, most of the cows there are owned by Southerners, but they employ people from the north to look after those cows for them.
All right, so let's go to our next story. Now,